So I've got your reading right here. So I hope you enjoy this. And I will probably I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. So this is basically a reading I'm doing for someone, but I'm leaving their name out just for, personal reasons, that sort of thing. But just so you kind of can see what I'm doing here, and kind of the way that I work my cards. Every tarot reader is actually going to be a little bit different. But some of the things, of course, are the same. So we're going to start here with, I have the 10 of Wands that's showing up here. This is heavy burdens. This is carrying, as you can see, this card. Let me put this right here. This is like just carrying too much, doing too much all at once, right? He's just like picking up all, and it's heavy. And he's got the destination. He sees the destination. He sees where he wants to go. It's just like, I mean, he's literally hurting his back doing this, and he kind of seems like he's in sorrow is what it is. It's being bogged down, being weighed down, can be emotionally, that sort of thing as well. Now Wands energy is Aries, Leo, Sag energy that's coming up here. This is fire, right? You need fire, you need passion, you need drive in order to like move forward, right? In order to do things. So the next one we have in line here is we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is basically, it's getting to the point. This has to do with Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. As you can see, this person is in like very kind of like dire type of like emotional state. Their emotional state is very weary. They could be having very sleepless nights, insomnia, this sort of thing. Waking up very, very worried. There's a lot of stress, a lot of worry that's going on. So, it's like he's carrying all these wands over here, gets, and then has these swords hanging on the wall. So not only is like carrying all this stuff, but then he has all these swords. Now these swords, 9 of these swords represent, and there is a representation of things that he knows. This person, it can be, him or her knows that they need to need to look at, but it's kind of just hanging there, and he's not really looking at him, is he? This person's not looking at him, but they're hanging there. We've got that. And so the next one we have in the line, the progression here, is the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is actually action. This is, we've got the sword. So this is actually like this person, instead of laying there, this person actually picked up basically one of these swords and is, okay, well, I'm going to put action into what I need to do. I'm going to swiftly move. I maybe even cut, getting to the point. So I look at this as like getting to the point, which is air energy, which is speaking out. Because our air, right, we use our vocal, it's the air, that sort of thing. It can also be thinking in your head a lot as well, like what do I need to do, just like the clouds, you're in your head a lot, you're in the clouds, right? You hear that expression. So this one is, like I said, getting to the point, finally grabbing one of those and saying, okay, I'm going to deal with this one issue. Out of the 9, I'm going to pull one of those off the wall and use it, and I'm going to use it to cut through some. Okay. Then the next one we have is the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles comes in. This is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, which we're dealing with here. So the Queen comes into our lives when she's trying to offer something. She's trying to offer stability. She's trying to offer help. And so that's what I'm seeing here. And it's a pretty big pentacle because it's from the Queen. The Queen is going to offer something that is stable, offering something that's really going to help you out, help to achieve, right? To like lift these burdens from you, that sort of thing. Kind of help even with the swords, with the sleepless nights. At the end of this, what I have here, we can see here, is the Six of Cups that's coming, which is beautiful energy at the end because you have these wands and swords energy, and then it's all this heavy energy. Help energy comes in, aiding, and that can be from any aspect, relationship, help from co-workers, help from family members, help in any general way, but it's feminine in energy. Feminine energy is what's very caring, it's very helpful, It's that caretaker type of thing. Here, let me lift the go. I've got something for you. It's going to help you out. So we come in then after that, and the progression is Six of Cups, like I said. So Six of Cups, Cups energy is dealing with emotions, the heart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is happy home. This is having that stability. A happy home. As you can see, this lady, she's giving one of these, I believe it's like a flower that's been planted to like the child and saying, here, like let's go put it inside when you want to go put it inside the house to warm up, the home environment. So there's a lot of like feminine energy that's here. That caretaking, like someone's going to come in. Okay, so then next we're going to move, and I'm going to move this down here so we can see what's going on. I feel like this has been away a little bit. Let me get my light situated. Beautiful. So the next that we have in line, we're going to kind of go this way here, is we have the full card. So, one might feel like they're foolish. One might feel like they're being, they don't really have a plan of action. But this card in itself is a very free flowing card. It's a very spontaneous, like when you just get up and you're like, you know what? I feel like doing this today. You know what? I'm going to call a friend, or I'm going to go on a trip. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm just going to have a good time. This is that type of energy. Just like carefree, who cares? There's not anything planned, everything. And at the end of the day, there might be some foolish steps that's taken, but as you can see, she's actually like coming off the edge here. She's like literally just gonna walk off the edge. She doesn't realize like she could fall. We don't see, really, you can't tell like how far that ledge is. Is she going to hurt herself? That sort of thing. So there's also that as well, but that's more in the mind. Is this person kind of scared about going forward, but do they really want to just go forward and have a good time? So I feel that energy coming through. Then next we have the Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles, see this lady, she's in the forest. She's surrounded by the animals. She has her castle. Ten of Pentacles is everything. Ten of Pentacles, and again, that's earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. This is the worldly possessions that we have. Not only worldly possessions, but the things that we have here on earth, which is our home, family, stability, work, that sort of things, right? These are the things that we hold on to that gives us a stable, that we're trying to acquire to have that stable life. So the Ten of Pentacles, that's what this is. This card is indicating that. So you can see if we look at that Ten of Wands, again, this Ten of Wands energy that's here, it's wanting to like put that down and just, it's such an opposite polar energy. It's that feeling of, I really just want to put this down and I want to just be carefree. This can also mean maybe being a little bit foolish. Maybe you shouldn't do the extremes like this as well. Kind of taking notice and taking balance. But we've got the Endurance card that's coming up here that you can see. That's on the bottom. So this is about enduring. Now we're moving. I'm going to go this way, and I might jump around, just kind of whatever I'm feeling at the moment. But we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight. So the Knight is in the tarot. So Swords energy, again, getting to the point, air, right? You see he's flying, right? There's movement. So a Knight, when Swords comes in, that's movement. That means there's something that's going to be spoken, something that needs to be said. He's going forth with that sword, because the Page of Swords up here, as we saw, is kind of like taking that swift action. But it could be managing kind of one thing at a time. It's a softer energy, Page of Swords it can be, whereas this one, the Knight, more of a masculine. It's coming forth, charging forward, basically, with information. This is more like to do with maybe like cutting like a task that needs to be done. This is more, I'm charging in because there's more that needs to be done. I need to see someone, and there's something in depth that needs to be spoken, something in depth that needs to be done, that's big, right? It's bigger in nature. It's not just one thing that I'm trying, one task I'm trying to handle. So I'm going to go down here, and we have the sex card that came up. So this is very, significant in this reading for you. Like I said, I'm not mentioning names. Yeah, you are. But this is for you, and so this is definitely, something that you want steadiness in, right? And endurance like that. But it's not, the other card that I pulled up was this card as well, which is the dolphins. As you can see, this beautiful dolphin card. Dolphins represent family. Dolphins represent togetherness. So, you're not wanting just to like go out and like have sex with random people and that sort of thing and have kind of like that type of life where it's like one night stands or anything like that. What you're craving is family, home. You're craving the intimacy, that sort of thing, as well. And you can see that that's, there's been some sleepless nights with that. When we see that the Nine of Swords, it's coming in, there's stress, because really what you're wanting is this beautiful maiden, right, at the end of the day, and then to have beautiful sex, to have the family. I see all of that here. And then the knight, you have the knight and the female here, right? So they're kind of like together. He's trying to swoop in and come here. Now, next to this, on the other end, see if I can swoop this down. We have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to put that up here. Beautiful. So I'm going to put these two cards here so we can see. These are on the bottom. But we have 9 and 10. So we have wands and then sword. So another wand and another sword. Again, there's a lot. There's that Aries, Leo, Sag is coming through, and then Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. As you can see with the wands is like I'm holding my staff. I'm in power. It's that very powerful position with this card right here. And as you can see, it's like summer. So we've got two polarities or different seasons. We have the season of the sun, and then we have the season of winter. So this is livelihood. This is during the summer. What are we doing, right? There's a lot of activity that's going on. That's where the sun is like just magnified, right? The heat of the day. We might even rest kind of like during the day, but and then so it's kind of like, if you look, I mean, usually you might even rest in both kind of different weather types, because in this one with the cold, when it's extremely cold, right, we'll bundle up, we'll go inside, that sort of thing. And even if it's like way too extreme hot, we need to rest from the heat during the hottest part of the day, right? Especially here in Texas. That's just like where I'm at. It's like sometimes there's just nothing you can do during that time. You either do it early in the morning or late at night. And it looks like that's what she's doing at dusk, right? She's up at dusk. She's contemplating. She's there with the lion, befriending. Now, but she feels like in her power, that solar power, that energy, whereas the Ten of Swords is almost kind of like the Ten of Wands, where he's carrying it. But this one, instead of carrying, he's actually been stabbed, feeling like stabbed in the back, feeling wounded. So it's very different energies. There's an energy of being stabbed in the back, very cold also, very cold. And then this one is powerful, basking in this. I mean, she's sitting up in her, literally sitting by a lion. I mean, you're sitting by a lion. I mean, how much, that's strength, that's courage. There's no courage in this one. This is depression, and this is happiness. So it's the two polarities of energy, two polarities of emotions that's going on here. And so, what I am showing, if we're going to read all of this a little bit more, like I said, there's a lot of heavy burdens coming in. You need to basically ask for help. You need to ask for guidance, this Queen of Pentacles energy. Actually, what I really see is someone is going to come in and offer like some help, and don't like say, well, I can do it myself. No, like accept the help that comes to you, that sort of thing, any kind of help that it is. I'm also, another thing that I had seen I had seen that like there's too much activity going on with not being strategically organized. Now, with with you on here, and I was giving this specific reading, and I was saying, for example, like with your house, as far as with the painting and stuff like that, it can be very smart. Just, I mean, you got the paint out, right? You might as well just like paint all the rooms. You have the paint out sort of thing. At the same time, like, how long is it going to take you to paint one room? The other thing though, really what I'm saying and what I kept getting from this is that we need to concentrate, and the best way to do this is to concentrate on one room at a time and completely finish it, so that we're not scattered with our mind. Because basically what happens is it's a reflection. How our environment is a reflection as far as what's going on in our head, and what's going on in our head is a reflection of what we see on the outside in our personal environment. It corresponds and it correlates with each other. So in order to help that, how can I be more organized? How can I be a little bit maybe more centered, more grounded, that sort of thing? Well, in order to do that, and I had suggested to you, was to work on one room at a time and literally finish the room completely, just finish it. That is going to be the best feeling in the world, because it's not a room that you need to go back to. You actually, when you go to the room, you're going to look at that room and not go, oh, I need to work on that. Because that means you're doing that in your subconscious mind. Oh, I still need to work on that. There could be things within yourself that you're saying, I need to work on that. But if you finish the room and you walk by it, the other opposite feeling of that is going to be of, oh, wow, I actually did. Like, I'm really proud of what I did. I'm really proud of my accomplishment. It's a feeling of accomplishment. It's also a feeling of joy. It's a feeling of just being able to be in it, be in your space, and feel that beautiful energy. And it feels good. Because there's nothing to do other than enjoy it. See, we have to get out of the doing something sometimes to where, oh, now I can just sit here and enjoy the space. Literally enjoy it. There keeps coming up. I keep coming up that there's something to do with home, interior, and space, and there's always something that's busy, always something that's never quite done. It still always needs to be done. And that needs to stop. That energy needs to stop. And in order to do it, like I said, is to literally work on it and don't be distracted. Don't have, some people, they may have like they're distracted easy, and they'll go and do like a million other things, and they're not ever really finishing the full one project sort of thing. So, but like we were talking about, like painting is good. Like if you're going to paint 3 rooms at a time, well then just go ahead and do the 3 rooms, but make sure you're doing the 3 rooms. Make sure you're doing all 3 rooms and that, sort of thing, and not hardly even finishing the one insert. So I keep getting that. We have to finish what we started our task, because it's going to help us in the long run with everything else in our life and in our mind. It's going to help move the things that we have put into our head, in our mind, that we have stashed away, and it's literally going to move those memories in our brain into a different direction. So, so and like I said, this right here is really wanting home, really want that stability, wanting that. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of wanting that. And this little red squirrel like came up, which I thought was like amazing. This little red squirrel, which is gathering your resources right now, and it's interesting because it's winter. So I mean, by now everything should have already, if you look at it that way, already have been gathered and everything, but we're not looking at it from that perspective. We're looking at it now. Okay, the squirrel is coming in, making sure you're gathering everything you need, you're saving money, you're putting money away, you're putting things away that you need for later to be resourceful. So when you do need that, you'll be able to pull it out. And you won't be starving. You'll have all the nuts that you need, sort of thing. And I'm saying choose wisely on your partners, choosing wisely as well on the people that you're bringing in, being picky as well. I'm picking up on that. This is probably going to be a little bit more than we discussed earlier. Now, I have children that are coming in here as well. This was a beautiful one. So this is kind of like a separate little reading here. But let me, before I go, I keep going, the 9 and the 10 of Wands. It's really kind of about balancing this out too. So like what is distraughting you, that sort of thing. You're going to have to look at each one and do what you can do. And you're going to have to be realistic with that and just say, okay, well, this is what is, okay, this is the other energy I'm getting. Instead of sitting and wallowing and saying, and just sitting in that wallowness and that pittiness and that this sucks, I don't like this, I don't like this. We should be able to do that for a while, right? We need to do that to grieve, to like this, I don't like the way this feels right now. So we take a minute and we go, okay. But then there's a time limit. And that's when we go, okay, what can I do with what's been presented to me? Okay. And what are maybe some creative ideas I can do that are different, maybe that I'm not thinking about? Let's get creative with this. So I also have this coming up. These are children that are coming in. It's saying it's hope, new energies. These energies are coming in. I see they're very protected. They are being protected, being guided as well. Now, this came in as like a shaman teacher that came in. She is actually the protector, and she actually just came in. So she's going to be guiding and giving you protection and stuff like that. And interesting because she is like shown here in the winter. If you look at the way that her garb is, she is literally dressed for the mountains. This is the wintertime. This is February. We're still in the winter months before spring begins. So she just wants you to know, I cannot pronounce her name here. There's different gods and goddesses, and also just like different masters and that sort of thing. But she is coming and she is aiding in this 10 of Swords energy that's down here, this heaviness, this heavy burden. So I would call upon, she be an ancestor, but it's more like just calling upon the wisdom. I keep getting calling upon the wisdom of the mountains of the hills. Calling upon the wisdom of the mountains and the hills. And the mother, protector of the mountains and the hills. I keep getting that. And it might sound silly, might sound crazy. It's energy. So when we're calling upon, like when we call upon different deities, different these sort of things, and you could be Christian, so there could, maybe Catholic, and there's only certain, one or saints that you look to pray to, and that's perfectly fine. But right, what happens right when we're praying to those deities, angels, guides, whatever, right? We're actually calling upon that energy, and because we believe that energy to be real, we manifest that energy around us, and it becomes and it surrounds us. Like people will say, like Mother Mary, she's very peaceful, motherly energy. And when people call upon her, it's very comforting energy that we feel. And we can be in the midst of grieving, and all of a sudden we just feel this peace. And like the Bible says, there's a peace that passes all understanding. And that's what God, when we pray to Jesus, when we pray to God, those are Christians, or just believe in God, I call God Great Spirit, whatever, that in that Bible says that peace that passes all understanding, to know that. And you have this tremendous amount of peace. That's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling this tremendous amount of everything is going to work out. And then because there is going to be victory around this situation, this is the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is victory. He's actually holding the wands and riding on a horse, and in victory. There's a wreath here of victory. People are looking up to him like, oh wow, you did that, you accomplished that. So I see victory coming in here, with the children. The prosperity is going to prosper. I asked about that. Now it is going to be a little bit, there's going to be some difficult situations coming up, as far as like, maybe people talking behind your back, this sort of thing. Do not worry about what others may have to say. You need to, it's almost like putting your focus on what needs to be done in order to get the task done, in order to, get what is needed in your life. And you might have situations where you're toggling between, like, is it this one? Is it that one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And sometimes that's when you have to stop and you have to think, where does my priority in this moment? This is where wisdom comes in. Where does it need to be guided to? Because if I guide it here in this one direction, is it going to veer me off course? And you'll know. We listen to our instincts. We listen to our gut instincts. A lot of people, a lot of people will choose to ignore that. And then they go, oh, I should have done it. Oh, I should have. When you start listening to your instincts, and you start listening to your gut, this is, I need to go this direction instead. When you start listening to it and you literally do it all the time, and you start doing that, that becomes your new habit. That's your new habit. Then when it's time to decide, decisions are easier to be made that before would have been really hard for you to choose. And sometimes we're only given a few options. And it may not be everything that we want. But again, we have to be like, okay, this is what I have and what are my other options? And writing, okay, now how can we go forward with this? Always be in the mindset of taking action. And that's what also I'm seeing here, that action, right? The fire, the wands energy that's coming in, and swords. That's why there's action here. The action needs to be done. And action is actually very masculine. It really is. It's very masculine. Now there's some help here with the feminine energy coming, that soft, caring energy coming in. I'm also getting a tower moment. So there's going to be some, kind of like, it's not going to be the easiest to deal with trying to get all this worked out here. But just know that in the midst of you trying to resolve and get things moving forward, you're going to have to be like, okay, well, again, this has come in front of me. What do I need to do in order to move forward? If you always have that mindset of, these are our options, and let me see if there's anything else, you won't get stuck in this Nine of Swords energy as well. I'm also maybe getting some, making sure, I keep getting this, I'm making sure drinking lots of water. I'm getting drinking lots of water, promoting health, focusing on health of body, mind, spirit. Because when we are healthy, and this happens with me as well, it's like when we are happy physically, our body is physically feeling good. We're hydrated, we're eating healthier foods, our vegetables, proteins, whatever meats. I mean, you are, whatever that is. Vegan, vegetarian, whatever. When we're eating healthy, it actually helps us we feel more awake, we feel more energetic. Our brain activity actually speeds up and works better. I mean, what happens when we're tired and we're eating like crap and we're doing things in our bodies that are like not good for it? Well, what happens is we slow down. And not only that, when we slow down, what happens is we're not able to make these decisions that we need to as swiftly as we need to, because we have brain fog. We have all that. We're in this. This is what toxic food and all that, like, and stuff and poison in our body does. But when we're like, oh, starting to eat healthier, I mean, it literally is like this person. It's just like, whoa, very free flowing. You feel like amazing and great. So thus, in turn, you're able to handle things. And if stress comes to you, it doesn't hit you as hard. You're able to breathe easier. You're able to, you might, things, yes, may upset you, and but you need to breathe, and it's okay to hurt, and it's okay to cry. I'm getting that to you. It's okay to process that you need to. Masculine men are always taught, don't cry, be tough, be tough, be tough, but this is what gives men heart attacks. This is my last best friend died of a heart attack. You have to take time for yourself. So it's a balancing act of giving time to yourself for nourishment, getting away, doing the things that you love, and then balancing, right? And then, okay, well, now it's time to work. Okay, now it's time to do this. So, and that's a constant daily thing that we all do as adults, right? That we're having to measure and kind of, some days just like, not today. It's just not today. Like, I'm just going to be in the house all day today because that's what I need. And I wrap myself up in a blanket and not talk to anybody, and that's okay. If that's what your like body, spirit, and everything is like, we just need to have one of those off days. Because another day you're gonna be like this busy little squirrel, just like, going crazy and doing everything. So I think that is basically the end of the reading. I'm gonna get actually one more card here for the Queen of Pentacles and Six of Cups, which I want Spirit to tell me kind of like, is there any other action things? I mean, I've given you action things to do here. Let me feel for this. Let me feel. Okay, here we go. It's a good size reading. 30 minutes here. Okay, so, Four of Wands energy, so beautiful. So so the Six of Cups is happy home. That's right, everything. But like the Four of Cups is having the balance within. The Four of Wands is having that balance and then that partnership as well. That Four of Wands is what that is. So I see some good things like coming your way. The steadiness of like kind of getting out of the Swords energy and moving into this beautiful, see the couple here, and they're actually at their house and they're celebrating. It's like a marriage is what I see here, because the marriage comes in here like someone's offering you something. I see an offer. And this can be this could actually be like an offer of like marriage. Let me move this here if you can see that. Which is that, because we have that in the middle. So we have the Queen of Pentacles offering, and then we have like marriage, and then we have the children coming in. So it's like, this is the wish fulfillment. This is what you're wanting. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I have everything here. Yeah, and I think that is it. Take care.